You can't scale what you haven't yet simplified. And if there's one thing that's extremely true, it is that complexity will kill all consistency. And so many a times you hear people talking about business growth and business scale. And scale is this word that gets thrown around so easily. But scale works best and is most efficient when it isn't applied to a very complex system or process. I mean, within different sub-processes, it can get pretty specific, but you need to get to a point where you boil things down to their simplest form. And there's so many times I see this, especially in the corporate environment, where people just drill down on a process and they bring all these different elements into it, all these different levels into their structure, and essentially at the end of the day it just makes the process very hard to execute. And especially if scale then reaches a business like this, it becomes increasingly more difficult to get things to just simply run. And a lot of times people feel like they get trapped in a system like that. If you had simplified your processes to their simplest form, I'm not saying make them like stupidly simple, just bring them back to the least amount of steps to get things done, the least amount of approvals, so that you know what's going on in the business. That's going to be the point where you'll start seeing your scale flourish. And I've seen this over the years in the businesses that I've been a part of as well. The moment you try and overcomplicate something, it becomes very difficult to execute, because you might understand what the hell's going on, but very few members on your team fundamentally understand the intricacies. And rather spending the time breaking these processes and steps down to them, putting together documentation, videos and libraries where they can access the information they need, but breaking it down to its simplest form, I found is the easiest to just get everyone on board and to get everyone working in the same direction. Because if it's not complex, then the answers are relatively straightforward. And if the answers are straightforward, then things can happen and people don't need to wait for approval and confirmations all the time. And if you can reach this point, then hats off to you. Scale is going to blow your business sky high. Enjoy.